Only 3%, that's it, out of every 100 Canadians. Only 3 of them will actually retire comfortably. Not just survive retirement, but actually live well. Cover their bills without stress, afford healthcare, travel occasionally, and not lie awake at night worrying about money. 3%. So the real question is, are you one of them? And if not, what's actually stopping you? Because the answer might surprise you. Most Canadians grow up believing a simple story. Work hard, save a little, retire at 65. Everything will be fine, but that story was written decades ago. And Canada has changed dramatically since then. Housing costs have exploded. Groceries are significantly more expensive. Debt levels are at record highs. And the average Canadian is living longer than ever before. Which sounds like good news, until you realize your savings now need to last 20, 30, sometimes even 40 years. And here is what most people never think about. Retirement is not a finish line. It's actually the beginning of a very long financial marathon. One that most Canadians are simply not prepared for. A recent survey found that nearly half of all Canadians have less than $100,000 saved for retirement. Half. And many experts say you may need closer to $1 million. Or more, depending on where you live and how long you live. That gap between what people have and what they actually need is enormous. And it is growing every single year. So why do so many Canadians end up financially unprepared? It is not always because they were careless or irresponsible. Life is simply very expensive now. Rent alone can consume 40 or 50% of someone's monthly income in major cities. Add student loans, car payments, childcare, groceries, insurance. By the end of the month, many Canadians have almost nothing left to save. And so retirement savings keep getting pushed to later, next month, next year, after the kids finish school, after the mortgage is paid. But here is the brutal truth about that thinking. Compound growth does not wait for you. Every year you delay saving, you are not just losing 1 year of savings. You are losing years of growth on top of growth on top of growth. A person who starts saving seriously at 25 versus someone who starts at 45. The difference in their retirement savings can be absolutely massive. Even if the late starter saves more money per month, time beats everything in retirement planning. And most Canadians simply start too late. There is also a dangerous assumption many people make. They assume CPP and OAS will cover most of their retirement needs. But the average CPP payment in Canada is around $800 per month. OAS adds roughly $600 more. That is roughly $1,400 a month. In a country where the average rent alone can easily exceed $1,500 or $2,000. That math does not work. So what separates the 3% from everyone else? Honestly, it is not always income. Some of the most financially comfortable retirees in Canada were never high earners. What they did differently was simpler than most people expect. First, they started early. Not perfectly, not with huge amounts, but consistently and early. Even small contributions made regularly over decades build into something significant. Second, they lived below their means. Not miserably, but intentionally. They made conscious choices about spending, rather than just spending whatever was left after bills. Third, they avoided carrying debt into retirement. Mortgage paid off or nearly paid off before retiring. No car loans, no credit card balances, because retirement income is usually lower than working income. And debt during retirement is one of the fastest ways to drain savings completely. Fourth, they diversified their income. CPP, OAS, personal savings, RRSP or TFSA investments, sometimes rental income or dividend income. They did not rely on just one source. And fifth, they planned specifically, not vaguely, not just hoping things would work out. They knew roughly how much they needed when they wanted to retire, and what adjustments they needed to make along the way. That combination is what separates comfortable retirees from everyone else. Now maybe you are watching this and thinking, I am already in my 40s or 50s. Is it too late for me? Honestly, no, it is harder. It requires more aggressive action. And it may mean making some uncomfortable decisions, but it is not impossible. Many Canadians in their late 40s and 50s have completely turned their retirement situation around by making serious changes, downsizing homes, eliminating debt aggressively, maximizing TFSA and RRSP contributions, exploring additional income streams, and delaying retirement by just a few years to allow savings to grow significantly more. Even 3 to 5 extra working years can make an enormous difference to long-term retirement security. The key is stopping the delay, because every single month that passes without action is a month of compound growth you will never get back. The truth is, most Canadians will not end up in that 3%. Not because they are not smart enough, not because they do not work hard enough, but because nobody ever clearly explained how retirement actually works in modern Canada, and how expensive it has truly become. But now you know. And knowing is the first step. The question is, what are you going to do with that information? If this video helped you understand retirement in Canada better, subscribe for more honest financial discussions every single week. And let me know in the comments, do you think you are on track to retire comfortably? Or does retirement feel impossible right now, because I read every single comment? And your answer might just be the topic of my next video.